Okay, so it's 8 o'clock. Uh, this morning we're going to do. I'm standing in, by the way, this morning because normally Jo would be here, but she's having a bit of a break, so I'm standing here in her stead. And we're going to do, as usual, the metta bhavana, the loving kindness meditation. And I just want to say a bit about that. The Buddha rated kindness very, very highly. He was kind to everybody. And that doesn't mean to say he was a doormat. He certainly wasn't a doormat. The Buddha could be very forthright and strict at times with somebody who he felt was not behaving in their own best interests. But he was always kind with it. If he was critical or told somebody off, it was for their good, not because he was a bit irritated by them. He always had his focus on what was best for the other person, and it wasn't about his own triggers and irritations and problems, because he didn't have any. He'd got rid of them all. He was enlightened. So with this practice, with the metta bhavana, the loving kindness meditation, we're trying to sort of slowly approach that state in the best way we can. And to just be kind to everybody and to see everyone as in need of kindness. And we know that's true, don't we? Because we are in need of kindness. We really need people to be kind to us. It hurts when they're not kind, and it just doesn't help when people aren't kind to each other. So we can start a revolution here by being kind to everybody we meet, even if we don't know them, even if we've fallen out with them, and even if there's something that gets in the way in terms of not really wanting to be there with them. We can still be kind. We don't have to like people. We don't have to run around after people. We don't have to let people walk all over us. But we can always be kind in whatever we do and consider their best interests, just as the Buddha would have done. And metta is an old Indian word, an old Pali word, meaning well, it's very difficult to translate, actually. It means a wide range of things. It means loving kindness is the usual translation, but it could mean friendship. It could mean solidarity with, connection with. It just this sort of taste of a sense of not being separate from this other person. Their interests are just as important as my interests. So if we can learn to do that, then we stop a lot of our own suffering. When we fall out with somebody, or when we feel somebody's not been nice to us, we suffer. We cause ourselves to suffer, don't we? We get these stories going round and round and round in our minds. And they make us unhappy. They cause us pain, and so that's the first thing. We can stop doing that. The second thing is that we can radiate love to this other person, even if we don't agree with them, even if we don't like them. We can still radiate love, and that will change the relationship between us. It will radically alter the way we relate to each other. And if enough of us do this, well, each of us doing this will change the people around ourselves. So if you become very kind and very loving to the world around you will soften, and it will become more loving back to you. And it's amazing. It's really amazing. It's quite magical. So if enough of us do that, we can change the world. This is a completely radical practice. So let's get going on it, shall we? And see what we can do to change the state of this troubled world with loving kindness. So good morning to Nicola and Andrea who've just joined us, and it's good to see so many of you this morning. You're very welcome, and welcome to everybody who tunes in on the recording as well. Hello Rachel, good to see you as well. Right, okay. So you can do this meditation with your eyes open or your eyes closed, whichever one, or your eyes half open. And as I say, just be comfortable where you are, if it's lying on your bed, on the floor, in a chair, or on a cushion. Just try and be alert. If you're on a chair, sitting up with a straight back, not rigid, but comfortably alert, and just relaxing. Relaxing your mind, relaxing your body as much as you can, but not forcing anything. Just noticing how you are, and just letting go as much as you can. So how are you this morning? How are you feeling? You could be feeling all sorts of things. You might be feeling really good, which is excellent. You might be feeling a bit rough, a bit tired, maybe out of sorts, grumpy. And that's absolutely fine. If we're feeling a bit grumpy, all we need to do is to be kind to our grumpiness. Just put our arms round our grumpiness and give it a cuddle. We spend so much time not being kind to ourselves. So why don't we just see our pain if we're not feeling good and give it a cuddle. Just let it know that we love it, that we love this fragile, delicate human being that's doing their best in the world. Just bringing attention in this very moment to what it feels like being here, physically, sitting on the chair or lying on the floor or the bed, sitting on the cushion. What does it feel like? Can you notice the pull of gravity pulling you down towards the earth? And just allowing that to happen, not resisting in any way, just allowing the bed or the floor, the cushion or the chair to hold your weight. And just allowing your body to relax. Bringing attention to the breath. You notice the breath comes and goes without you doing anything. Breathing in, you're breathing in aliveness and life. Breathing out, you're relaxing, letting go. And on each out breath, the shoulders drop a little. So that's a chance to just let go of any tension in the body. Just relaxing on each out breath as the shoulders drop. And then relaxing a bit more on the next out breath. Just enjoying the sweetness of that relaxation. This is the metta bhavana, the cultivation of loving kindness meditation. And in the first stage, we're just going to take an appreciation of ourselves. Just as we are, we strive so hard to be different to how we are. We wish sometimes we could be different in all sorts of ways to how we are. And maybe just reflecting that there are things we can change, and as long as we stay aware of them, change will happen. And there are things we can't change, and maybe we can learn to accept them with a sense of loving kindness. So in both cases, maybe we can cultivate a loving gaze, a soft, generous and kindly appreciation of ourselves, doing our best in the world, making mistakes, being imperfect, but doing our very best at every moment, trying to be happy. Can we have a sense of loving kindness to this fragile, tender human being that we call ourselves? And if we wish, we can use some traditional phrases to wish ourselves well. And we can really try and mean them. So the traditional phrases are, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Maybe just repeating those in our minds as an affirmation. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And just opening our hearts to ourselves as human beings, tender, fragile human beings, doing our best in this difficult world. Just opening our hearts to ourselves and all the ups and downs. And in the second stage, we're going to bring to mind a really good friend. Somebody who you really care about. And preferably not a partner. That gets a bit complicated. But somebody who has really looked after you at times, maybe. Who you've looked after. Who you care about. And just noticing what happens when you bring them to mind, either as an image or just a sense of them being with you. You might feel your heart center opening. You might find pleasant feelings arising in the body. Or in the mind. If you don't, that's okay. Just stay relaxed and open to what might happen. And if you've got that positive sense of caring, just enjoying that. That's metta, that's loving kindness. And you might reflect that this friend of ours is in many ways just like us. They have ups and downs in their lives. They have times of joy and times of sadness, times of excitement and times of disappointment. Life is good sometimes, and sometimes life is hard. So we've got so much in common in that respect. And we can probably see this connection with our friend. We know this. And maybe that's one of the reasons we're close to them. So wishing our good friend well. We can use the traditional phrases, maybe put the name in there to make it more personal. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And in the next stage, we're just going to let our good friend go for a moment and bring to mind a relative stranger, somebody that we see quite regularly but we don't know. Could be somebody in the shop or on a bus or a neighbour or somebody that you stand at the bus stop with or just come across quite regularly, but you don't really know them. So can we open our hearts to this person? There may be slightly little bit of a cardboard cutout in a way. We don't really connect with them to any great degree. They don't mean anything to us in our lives. But this person, can we reflect that this person is in so many ways just like us? They have ups and downs in their lives. They get blown around by the worldly winds. They have good times and bad times, joys and disappointments. And sometimes they find life incredibly hard and painful. And sometimes they are full of happiness, just like we are. So we know quite a lot about this stranger. Can we open our hearts to that, to this connection? Can we open our hearts to their humanness? Their fragility and tenderness as they make their way through the difficult path of life. Can we wish this relative stranger well? May you be well. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. in the fourth stage, we're going to bring to mind, if we can, somebody that we don't get on with, someone that we prefer not to be with, really, that we don't like, preferably not somebody we've had a big falling out with. That's too much. Just somebody that irritates us, or that we feel uncomfortable around. Just bringing them to mind and seeing how that feels. So it might not feel very nice, it might feel rather unpleasant to bring this person to mind. And that's perfectly okay. We're not trying to change that in any way. That's the way you feel, and that's the truth. So first of all, we're accepting that we don't like this person, and that's a fact. So that's okay. But having said that, maybe we can just reflect that this person, we see a certain part of this person. We see the bits that cause us pain in our hearts. But underneath those, there is this human being. And whatever we think of them, they go through much the same kind of life experience as we do. They get ill, they perhaps don't like themselves as much as they should, like all of us. They have ups and downs, disappointments and joys. They feel the pain of being human, of trying to be happy. And they're doing the best in the world, in whatever circumstances they find themselves, just as we are. So, without trying to like them, without trying to change our opinion of them, almost in spite of that, can we wish them well? Can we open our hearts to them as another human being and wish them well? May you be happy. Maybe putting the name at the end again. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Maybe just really try to mean that. And maybe if we can act slightly differently to this person we don't get on with, if we can be a little bit kinder to them, a little bit more considerate and patient with them, then maybe there is a possibility that they will change and respond differently to us. And in the final stage, we're going to bring all four people together in our imagination, either as images or just a sense of each of them. So there's ourselves, there's the good friend, there's the relative stranger, and there's the person that we don't get on with very well. Just bringing all four together and just having a sense of the things we have in common. We all struggle sometimes with ourselves and with other people. We all have joys and sorrows, excitement and disappointment. We're all imperfect, just doing our best to tread our way through this difficult thing called life. And taking the knocks as we go. So can we have a sense of compassion to all four of us? Just got so much in common. And can we wish all four of us well? May we all be well. May we all be happy. May we all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And then can we radiate that goodwill outwards to everybody who's been meditating with us this morning online, and everybody who may join us on the recordings, to the whole of the world as well, to every being, every one of the 7 billion plus beings in the world. We have so much in common with all of them. Every one of us in different situations, in different climates, different cultures, different ways of being. Can we wish all beings in the world well, including all animals, birds, sea creatures, insects, and so on. All these living creatures, including ourselves, all just doing their best in the world to be happy. Can we wish them well? May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And as we end this meditation, just trying to remember through the day to have a sense of kindness and patience to others. Just understanding that they, like us, find it difficult sometimes, and being a friend to that difficulty. Even if we don't know them, even if we don't like them, we can still have an attitude towards others that is friendly and supportive. So when you meet someone today who irritates you a bit, or who you don't know, maybe just somebody in the street or in a cafe or on the bus or at work, just have a think, have a reflect about them being human, and that, you know, and that their feelings are very similar to your feelings. Just there is this connection, if we can just make it. And this is so radical. We can change the world doing this if enough of us do it. And even if only us do it, we change our world very, very radically. So it's a path to happiness. It's a path to real happiness. Okay, if you're able to tune into Radio York, I'm on Radio York at 9:10, talking about pyjama meditation. So that should be fun. And if you're enjoying these sessions, we would always appreciate a small donation from you. You can do that on our website, York Buddhist Centre, yorkbuddhistcentre.org, and there's a donations page. So if you can, please just give us whatever you can. We would really appreciate it. It helps to keep us going. We have no other income, and it helps us to keep doing things like this. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for coming along, and I'll be back on Monday doing the body awareness meditation. So maybe I'll see you then. And in the meantime, have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves, and lots of love to you.